command and by itself, like systemctl command, you will see the actual Linux systemctl. And then the nice thing about systemctl is systemd. So if you do, let's say man systemctl, this is just basically all the daemons, you can control it. That's why it's called system control. And then systemd is Red Hat and CentOS 7 and up. It replaced the System 5, which was in it. Systemd is there, but all these options, Systemd also replaced services. So instead of services, you use systemctl. And then you can disable daemons, enable it, start, stop, check status on it and everything. So like, for example, if I just say systemctl status SSG for secure shell, I could just say that, okay, this is running, up and running. And I can configure them there by enable it or disable it by default to run. So that's man pages on all of these. You can do it by keywords or this. And I already showed you the section 1 and section 2 and section 3. And now you check it with -s for section number. All the library files or functions or section 3 or section 2, and every UNIX commands are on section 1 mostly. And let's man make dir. So make dir, we did some example of make dir. I'm going to show you some more example here. Obviously, if you look here, I'm just showing some of the commands you can do. Make dir, you create a new directory, and if the 3-level directory you want to create, as long as you provide -p for the path, it will just create the subdirectories under it, no matter how many level you want to go. For example, if I say make dir new 1, new 2, new 3, new 4, new 5, this one will fail because I did not give the -p option. -p option, it creates it, and if now I do ls-ld, it will say that, yeah, this directory there, but if I just want to say, show me only this, it says this is 0 byte, but what if I want to see everything there, --r, and this one would say recursively. So the option of ls earlier when we were talking about, I did not mention the -uppercase R. So sometimes on certain files here, you could say ls-l C++, you could say that this is only showing one level. But if you want to see recursively the files and other directories that are there, like these other test directories that has this, you put the -uppercase R. So some of the subdirectory will also be shown here. Okay, so -R for recursively, and then -P for creating the path in there, and that directory. So there's a Linux command that is kind of dangerous. Okay, -LTR. LTR is going to show you, like here under the C++, if I do ls-LTR, it shows the last things that I worked on the bottom. -LTR. T for the timestamp of it, but R for recursively, so it shows in reverse order. -L give me a long listing. So if I just say now cd to new 1, and then new 1 has it, and new 2, and so on. So, but I just don't want to delete this directly. If I say rmdir new 3, it just says directory is not empty. So now I say new 3, and then I say go ahead, delete this one, rmdir. Again, it's going to say directory not empty. And new dir 4, I cd to that one now, new 5. Now, since new 5 does not have anything, it's empty, 0 byte, I could say rmdir new 5. That would work. But now I'm sitting here on this, I could just say, rather than do on each one of these directories, if I want to delete 3 and 4 together, I could say rm-rf new 3. New 3, meaning that the delete 3 as well as 4 recursively -R F for forcing it. So this one took care of those ones. But I could have done the same thing with all of them together. So this new one has that one, and then new 2 is empty. I'm going to say RM minus RF, new 1, and then now I don't have anything here. So I could have just done on all of them in one directory. So if I go back into my pwd command, I mean make dir -p command right here, this command created all of them. So now I could just say find dot minus type d minus name new star new. If I just want to say do this and then list all of them that are directory, I don't have to say this, and then find out new. So the name does not match like that. I'm going to say find minus name star new star, and then that will give me everything. But I want to just do everything between 1 and 9-9. Notice that at this time I said, show me all the files that are, start with the word new and then this. So new one, all of this one, I could just do RM minus RF on them, or I could just say here, say, I don't need any of them, but in order for me to know for sure I don't need them, I say ls minus l d, give me a long listing of those files so I can see that I do need them or not. Yeah, new one, as you can see it, I don't need it. So there's an easy way than just doing that one. I could just this time say minus exec rm, and then I could just say rm minus rf and then there. But be very, 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 very careful on that -rf option, because you could inadvertently delete something that you don't want to delete. And then as a result, you see that I deleted everything that was on this directory. Now there's nothing in there. But you could inadvertently delete something, and that's why RM minus RF, you have to be 10 times checking, making sure this is a development, this is a testing environment, the name that you provide, you kind of validated that this is exactly what you want to delete. Then you run that command and it's safe to do so. From time to time, you have to do something on the command line to just clean up on your trash or garbage that you no longer need it. But sometimes by accident, you could just say star.c, and then it might require or C++ or star.text or star.sh, and it matches more than just one character. So run the ls minus l command for it first to just check it, and then make sure that this is exactly what you need, and then do that. Make dir, and more is like less. So when we do more one page at a time, it is just like if you do here, say more words.c++, it's basically one page at a time. Similarly, page and similarly less is that. And you could just get kind of search for the options too. So when you do a more, like if you do more words.c++, you could say search for IO stream, let's say. And then if the search is in the bottom of the list, you could search for it. But if you already passed it, it may just not go there. Less words.c++, and then you say search IO stream, and it finds it. So if you just do while, and then it's going to find it, and cout is going to find it, and then you do n for a new, and then uppercase n to go backward, similar to vi when you search it. So less is your friend. More is very limited and lightweight, but less and cat and vim and other ones are more better, and a way to just do the same thing. What else we are doing here? More is done Page is similar to more. Sometimes if your system doesn't do that page, if you like to type less, you can just create an alias for the page command for more. So like, for example, let's say here, if I just say page and then words.c++, it is says not found, I could say alias page is equal less. So now I say page words.c++, it will do the same. So yeah, some people, they install the software, some people, they just say, well, it's similar functionality, I need it, and I just do it. Ping is similar to like pinging to make sure that this site is up and running. So sometimes you want to say, well, is Google up and running because I'm stuck on something? So, or is my network working? So if I just say, well, I have netstat -rn and I have this configuration, IPA, and I have my IP address configured. At this time, I want to say ping google.com. Is my network working? Yeah, actually, I can ping Google. So that means there. Can I ping IBM.com? Yes. Can I ping, let's say, jpl.nasa.gov? Yes. If it doesn't, and then most likely, they're just for Echo 7, they're blocking to make sure that the distribution of denial of service attack is kind of there. But the www for the website is available pinging. So, and there are certain things like ping www.pasadena.edu will name or service unknown, Pasadena. Pasadena.edu, it is not pinging the main site. And then if I just do it, because sometimes through the firewall, they may be blocking it, as you can see here. But if I just go through HTTP protocol, then that would be responding. Because if I just come here and say, okay, www.pasadena, then it will just respond. In this case, HTTPS for is what you have to check. On the NS lookup, pasadena.edu, you can see there's an IP address of this. And then if you try to ping that IP address, it will still do the same thing because the host name was not allowing you, and then there's that IP address is actually through the firewall is blocking for the echo things. But if I just do like a wget or a curl or something, I might be able to get that because that is going through a different port. Echo port 7 is for ping. So if I say, let's say curl that port, and then you can see that it comes in from the pasadena.edu because this is curl is using HTTPS and HTTP. Pinging is there. And there's a file called etc services. And then if I say grep for echo from etc services, you can see echo is port 7. So port 7 for ping and other ones are just sometimes blocked on certain firewalls. And if it is allowed, yes, you can do it. But if you're going through port HTTPS, that's port 443. So if I just go on this one, grep for 443, that port is, they're allowing it with HTTPS because it's there, 443 is there. And then the same thing with port 80, HTTP. So HTTP is, if I just look at it, port 80 is HTTP and 443 is HTTPS. And then there's other ports on this etc services file that the system administrator could open it through IP tables or through firewall Ds or IPF W for depending on whether they're running Sun microsystem, Red Hat, or older version of Red Hat with IP tables, or new version with firewall D or IPFW for Sun microsystem, IPF, and other stuff. So let's check it out with the next command. What was that there aside from ping? Ping host and dig and dig. That command also allow you to just basically run commands from Let me just make sure that I go to